Hey guys, it's KJ from the Scariest Movie Ever channel on YouTube. And there's something really weird happening with actor Matthew McConaughey. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that oftentimes we're looking for coded messages, subliminal messages, the language of symbols, and the underlying meaning behind much of our entertainment. See, we are truly living in incredible times right now. I personally have been on YouTube about 8 years, and I remember when I first started off, there was maybe a handful of people on YouTube that noticed this kind of symbolism. And in the years since, I've actually seen a real community grow. I've witnessed the mass awakening of the public to this occult symbolism. We're living at a time where these, quote, entertainers are literally doing Illuminati rituals in public, or satanic rituals in public. Oftentimes, these are at major awards shows or sporting events. We are dealing with what I call the beast system. Everything works in cycles, and we're at another time in human history where all these symbols are coming forward, and they all represent something from the past. This beast system has been here since the beginning. But they work in shadows, they work in the dark, hence the term occult, hidden before our very eyes. But we're living at a time now where more and more people are becoming aware of this. More people are seeing it for what it really is. So I've been covering this subject for many years of my life now. And through the years I've come to the conclusion that a large amount of these people on the higher levels of Hollywood and politics and even big industry have completely sold themselves out. Many of these people have sold themselves out to the beast system. And the way we know that is by judging their fruits. Once these people sell out, they have to start representing. They represent through signs, through symbols, through hidden meanings. Now, I also believe that it's a wicked spirit that works through a lot of these people. I don't think everybody's fully aware of it. Not everybody has consciously sold out. So we find these patterns of recognition. We find these symbols that turn up time and time again. If you can't see these symbols, their magic is working on you. But once you can see the symbols, once you get it, once you see it for what it is, you're free. So Matthew McConaughey is a very interesting case. You know, oftentimes we're called crazy, people who are critically thinking, people who are seeing this system for what it is. For instance, in Matthew McConaughey's case, a lot of the symbolism, a lot of the hidden messages I find with him are in car commercials he does. So just imagine when you try to talk to somebody who has no clue about this stuff, that there's people putting hidden messages in car commercials. Well, just imagine the kind of response you'll typically get. But that's okay, because we are in a fallen system. And I understand that the multitudes of people are totally unaware of this stuff. And I've been working for years in hopes to try to open their minds. I'm going to show you a commercial that I recently saw with Matthew McConaughey. I'm going to connect it to a few other commercials from him. And I'm going to show you how this occult language works in our, quote, entertainment and also in our advertising. So here's a screenshot of the newest commercial for Matthew McConaughey. It's the 2018 Lincoln Navigator commercial. And this one's called Uncharted Waters. I want you to notice on the left side of the screen the word Cyrus. Cyrus apparently is the name of the ship. But when taken in context with something else I'm about to show you, Cyrus takes on a whole new meaning. A lot of what we call Illuminati symbolism goes back to Egypt. Osiris is an Egyptian god identified as the god of the afterlife, the god of the underworld, the god of the dead. And he's classically depicted as a green-skinned deity. The Freemasons at the top level of the pyramid, the Illuminati if you will, these people are sun, S-U-N, worshippers. By extension, they worship Lucifer. Osiris is highly regaled in these secret societies. Many people believe Osiris was actually a fallen angel himself, also a representative of the beast system. And it's interesting because oftentimes Osiris is represented with a cone-type head as well. And jumping off of that, you can also look into the study of all of these strange elongated skulls that have been collected and found all around the world. Many people believe these were hybrids. Many people believe these are connected to the fallen angel bloodline. And keeping in mind, once again, that Osiris is depicted like this, with a skull like this, in tons of different drawings, sketches, and artwork. Also, if you pay close enough attention, you'll find the green man popping up in all kinds of entertainment and advertising as well. Even more interesting, we find connections with Obama to the man as well. Some may say this further proves that connection to Obama being the man of lawlessness or the son of perdition. But here's Michelle Obama on CBS holding up a green mask of Obama. The green man, Osiris. Which brings us back to this story right here. And I've covered this a few times on some of my other videos because it's very important. You can look this story up for yourself. Rihanna went to the White House when Obama was still in the White House. She stood outside the gates and was yelling, "Cyrus, let me in." Now the mainstream narrative on this was basically that she was acting out something from a television show called Scandal. But once again, we understand there's another language taking place, and it's the language of symbols. And if you're new to this kind of thing and you don't already know, Rihanna is a major sellout to this beast system. She's used as a puppet, a false idol for the people. So she fully understands this occult language. She knows what's going on. So it's interesting that they put her out in front of the White House with a dress on that has the symbol of CERN, which is trying to pierce the veil. And she's yelling out for Cyrus, Osiris, in the White House, Obama. So now you should have a more clear understanding of what I'm trying to show you here. Brings us back to the Matthew McConaughey commercial with Cyrus in the background. And it's no mistake that they have the sun shining through as well, for the sun symbolism. And then the commercial goes to this shot right here. Again, a little more sun symbolism, but more importantly, understanding what we understand now, I also find this symbolic for the beast rising from the sea. Okay, so now we're going to jump back in time about 3 years to this commercial for Matthew McConaughey, and it was called Bull, was the name of the commercial. And once again, this is one of the car commercials. So this one should really blow you away. Once again, I've shown this in the past in a few other videos. I wasn't the first person to notice this particular anomaly, but I'm really glad that others out there saw this and put it out, because it's very subtle, but this is really going to hammer the point home for you. And it's also very important to note that in ancient Egypt, the bull was also worshipped, and it was also considered the embodiment of Osiris. So in the commercial, once Matthew McConaughey pulls up, he looks at the bull and he says, Osiris. So the cover-up for this could be him just saying, Old Cyrus, but we know better, right? Matthew McConaughey just called this Old Cyrus. He says, I think that's Osiris. He also says all 1,800 pounds, and of course 18 is the 666. So I want you to watch closely at the bull's left eye. I'm going to play this very slow. And you're going to see how they have edited in a pyramid, a black pyramid, over the bull's eye. So once again, this is your all-seeing eye. This is a representation of your beast system, or the Antichrist system. So watch closely. And right there it is. That's the pyramid over the eye. That's not an accident. That's not just some kind of a shadow. That was placed there purposefully. Yet still, so few people see. So here's another car commercial I want to show you from Matthew McConaughey, and this one's very interesting indeed. There's a lot going on here. So he's sitting in a cafe and it's raining outside. And the first thing I want you to notice is the shadow character in the background. You see a shadow back there as if it's somebody standing in front of a window. We've talked about the cone heads, we've talked about the misshaped heads. We know that the what they call the gray aliens have these big round heads. And I've done videos for years showing you the connection between, quote, aliens and the actual fallen angels, or interdimensional demonic spirits. This shadow over there in the background certainly doesn't look human. I want to play this out slow for you for a little bit and just take a look at the shadow and the weird movements it makes, but more importantly, just the size of the head. That's interesting, right? We've already talked about the green man, or the green men, or the little green men. We understand this beast system is run through fallen angel information, through fallen angels communicating with those at the highest levels of these secret societies. So it's interesting they have this strange creature, shadow creature in the background of this car commercial. Why else would they have something like that in a car commercial? But let's move on. So next you have Matthew McConaughey smiling and looking down at the table before taking his wedding ring and clinging it against a glass of water. And this is very significant in my opinion, so check this out. So when I saw this commercial, even for the first time, it really stood out to me, and this is just kind of what I felt and saw in my spirit. Him taking his ring, his wedding ring, and clinking it against the glass, and then going outside and opening up the sunroof and looking up as the rain was coming down, is symbolic for the rapture of the church, the rapture of the people, and also the wedding feast of the Lamb. But it doesn't end there. There's one more major sign or symbol they have inside this commercial, so let's check it out. And right there it is. Now, do we really think this is just an accident that this was put in there? I mean, they spend tons of money on these commercials. And they're short, so they're edited really tight. Whatever's inside a commercial in that 30-second spot is intended to be there, and they want you to see it. So we have the fallen angel alien. We have the rapture of the church, the wedding feast of the Lamb. And now as he's driving, we have this pyramid show up on top of his car in lights. I'm telling you right now, this is not an accident. This is on purpose. And this is how we see the symbolic language of the occultists that essentially run the world. So did Matthew McConaughey consciously sell himself out to this system? Or is he just another puppet being used by this beast system? Either way, I really hope that what I showed you today helps you, and I mean that. As I've said for years, and part of the reason I do what I do is to unlock this in your minds. Because once you see it, once you understand it, you'll see it everywhere. And we see these as signs of poison, poison for your soul, poison for your mind. When you start seeing these signs and symbols on entertainment or on logos or on clothing or whatever, understand that is poison. These symbols are put out there with bad intentions behind them. So I'll leave you with that for now. As always, thank you so much for watching my videos. I appreciate you. Take care of yourselves out there, okay? And I'll talk to you again here real soon.